Right, hi guys. Thought I'd just make a short video after the news today that Zlatan Ibrahimovic has re-signed for Manchester United. Oh yeah! So we're gonna have an absolute killer team this season. Really looking forward to it. I mean, obviously we're probably not up there yet with the likes of Real Madrid, PSG. We still need a few more players, you know, to get to that level. So I expect like next summer, if we get the likes of Griezmann, Gareth Bale, then we're gonna have sort of like a sort of team that is going to be up there with Real Madrid, capable of beating them. But I still think on our day I think we could do them. So we had players out for the Super Cup, so you know. Anyway, whether I'm being over optimistic or not, but I think we've got a very strong team this year. So anyway, get back to the point. I thought I'd just look at some ways we could play this season. I'm using obviously Pez to like show the formations and the player setup we could use. Forget the stats, Konami haven't got them right anywhere near. I mean, you know, Martial 76, come on, Rashford 75, I think they're a bit better than that. You know, Lukaku 83, not quite in agreement with that, but anyway. So, you know, I was going to look at ways in which like we could play with both Lukaku and Ibrahimovic together, but I'm going to start off with a formation that Mourinho does like to play when we're at home, when he knows the team you know, a bit less of a threat, and Mourinho likes to be a bit more attacking then. So he often likes to play this kind of system with the one holding midfielder, so Matic like that. And then, you know, Mata, which I think Mata is better here than Ander Herrera. So, see, this is why Mourinho's played him this season. Played him in the first game, basically here. And we were absolutely devastated. So in the first game against West Ham, we had Mata, like, you know, able to roam in this sort of area. Pogba as well. Even, like, Matic was able to push up at some points, but his main job was to defend against, to protect the back four. And then we had Rashford, or you can have Rashford or Martial, like coming down either side there. So really, I mean, this is kind of like a system where you've got Lukaku or Ibra in. So like, you know, you could play Lukaku for like, you know, 70 minutes and then Ibra or the other way around. So obviously, you know, both got their qualities. Lukaku's more athletic than Ibra. He's quicker than Ibra, so but he's also good at holding up the ball. So you know, he gives you more diversity in this than Ibrahimovic does. If Ibra's playing, then the winners are going to be looking to play like, you know, more of him as he holds up the ball rather than him actually busting the gut to get in there. So it will give you different ways of playing, really. Okay, so let's have a look at the formations where we can get them both in together. So I'm going to start with this one with three at the back. I know Mourinho has played it a few times last season. He's tended to like to play the 3-5-2 rather than the 3-4-3 that Chelsea play. So anyway, let's have a look at this system. So yeah, look, in this system you can get Lukaku and Ibra in together. You can have Luke Shaw as a wing back and Valencia as the other wing back. I know Mourinho's like looking into getting Danny Rose, but you know, you're looking at big money off of Spurs, so probably not this season. But I think, you know, Shaw, he's had a tough time since he's come to United, and I think that Shaw has got the athleticism and the skill to be able to do that job pretty well. So, and with Valencia, you know, he's a winner turned into a right back, and he's doing very well there now. So he's obviously got the athleticism to charge up and down these flanks, no problems. You know, he's got the skill to go forward, and he's developed better defensively, so he's going to be able to play that position well. So yeah, I mean, you could have Mata there instead of Mkhitaryan, but obviously Mkhitaryan gives you that pace, which you're going to need, really, if you play. I mean, Lukaku's got pace as well, but you'd probably be expecting Ibra would probably drop more like that to hold the ball up and play people in, at which point you could have Mkhitaryan running off, going, and Ibra playing him in, and with the option of the pace of Lukaku the other side. You've got Pogba, who's going to be able to, like, you know, play all over, patrol this area mainly, which is one of his favourite positions. It'd be quite dangerous there, or those two can push up like that. Pogba falling in, so you know, there's plenty of options of how they could play and what they could do there. Obviously the width provided by the wing backs. So yeah, I mean that's another possible system they could play. Looking at one more, I think they could play. And Mourinho doesn't really like to play this formation. I know Alex Ferguson, this was probably his favourite formation for the time that he was United manager. Until obviously the period where Carlos Queiroz came in and he kind of like, in the Ronaldo era, kind of shaped a more sort of like, a more, I don't know, was it more of like a 4-3-3 sort of system, so, or 4-2-3-1, that sort of thing. So with Ronaldo playing kind of like a, you know, a false 9 kind of role. So, but yeah, this 4-4-2 could work again against the weaker teams. And you know, this is what Ferguson used to play all the time. He used to have like Roy Keane there, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs left wing, David Beckham right wing, and with, you know, Yorkie and Cole playing, you know, like that, all in the days of Cantona and Hughes kind of thing. So yeah, you've got, and with this you can either have Ibra pushing up with Lukaku, or because Ibra's not quite got the pace, what you could do is you could play balls in like high to Ibra and he'll be able to knock them off onto Lukaku or to Mkhitaryan, Rashford. And that would be the thing, is because with Lukaku and Ibra both being so big, you don't know where the ball's going to. Is it going Lukaku? Is it going Ibra? They're both there to pick it up and they can interchange like this. So sometimes you've got Lukaku there, sometimes Ibra. It would be a nightmare for defenders, like having those two come running at you. And also when people are like, you're going to get to a team, a lot of teams in the Premier League park the bus, even at home these days. If you're a big club, you're going there to play them. And part of the problem we've had is getting through them when they park the bus. Like against Swansea the other day, Mourinho tends to like to play a 4-2-3-1 away from home with 2 holding midfielders. And the problem is you really lack width, as we showed like for most of the first half against Swansea. Didn't look like we were going to break them down. But I suppose part of Mourinho's tactic was that we're a big team now. So he thought we're going to get something from a set piece, or you know, we're just going to power our way through, which, you know, eventually happened with Pogba hitting the bar and Baye coming in to knock it in the back of the net. And of course, once that happens, then the other team's got to come out, and the 4-2-3-1 is a classic counter-attacking formation, and you can cut them to shreds as soon as they come out at you. But the thing is, against the teams that are better defensively like that, you know, kind of like mid-table sides, it's going to be more difficult, especially if they're big and strong, to power your way through to get the goals. So if you've got a team who've got lots of great ball players in possession, you've got Matic, you know, you've got Pogba, you've got Mkhitaryan, so you're going to be able to do like what Alex Ferguson used to do, which is basically you could play 4-4-2 against these teams. They're not going to be a threat, they're not going to come out at you. So what you need to do is you need to be able to stretch them, and with a formation like this, you can get plenty of width with Rashford and Mkhitaryan. I mean, obviously you can swap that with Martial quite easily, or Lingard down the right as well, so, you know, whichever way you want to play it. And then you've got Luke Shaw and Valencia, who can do like what United used to do with Beckham and Neville, which is basically, you've got overlapping fullbacks, so, you know, you've got the ability to overlap and get around. I mean, the threat of having Mkhitaryan can dip inside, Valencia come up, get good crosses into the box. The same with Shaw, do the same with Rashford, you know, overlapping each other like that. Oh, let's get to do it. No, it doesn't like it. But you see what I mean. Let's see if I can do it again. No, the game's not having it. But yeah, basically, I mean, you can like overlap there. Yeah, with those players. So there you go, like that. So yeah, there you go, done it. Right, so yeah, basically, you know, you can have overlapping to get width. So basically, what you're doing there is you're pulling apart the kind of like the 2 banks of 4 that the teams are defended with, and creating holes in the middle, because that's the biggest problem when you're playing a 4-2-3-1. Everything's compact. You need width, and you're only getting width from your fullbacks, and they're not able to provide it enough. So against teams where you know they're not going to come out at you, you look at, if you do this sort of thing, I know Mourinho probably won't play because he doesn't like the formation, but this would be ideal. You're going to get round the back of the defence with these players, you know, with your Mkhitaryan's and Valencia's. And such a danger And the teams don't know what you're going to do. Are you going wide? Are you going to go for the middle? And it's going to stretch them apart and create space in the middle. And when it does that, you've got space, lots of space for Paul Pogba. You can basically come in, lever it in the back of net. Matic can basically provide some protection there. Or if they're really just sitting back, Matic can even push up as well. And you create so much space in the middle by the wide threat, because they know you're going to be trying to get around the back. They can't stay tight and compact in the middle. It opens them up, and then you can then play it back inside to these players. And you can even have Mkhitaryan cut inside whilst Valencia goes over that, and then Mkhitaryan's there to cut inside. You can have the same with Rashford if Shaw's doing that. And really, you can really push a team back, and Ferguson was like really successful with that. It's when teams used to like to park the bus, play 4-4-2, get players out wide, stretch them apart, get round the back of them. That's what teams that park the bus don't like, is you get wide players round the back of them. No playing in front of them. They love that. They'll do that all day long. Get round the back. And of course, once you get down those flanks with these players, look who you've got in the box. You've got Lukaku and Ibra. What are defenders going to do? You're like, one of them's bad enough, but if you've got the pair of them together, the height, the size, the power, the strength, and you've got crosses coming into that box, I mean, you're going to score a ton of goals, and they're going to find that very hard to defend against, especially when you've got like the athleticism of Lukaku and the skill of knowing where to be, of positioning that Ibrahimovic has got. So that's, for me, that's potentially a way that we can play with two of them when we play against teams that part of the bus. I mean, other than that, you could play, with either one of them, playing the normal formations that Mourinho plays at the moment. But I think, really, look, the threat is there if you play with both of them. My God. Against a team that parks the bus, I mean, against the better teams like, the Real Madrids, obviously you can't do this because you're going to leave yourself exposed at the back. But this could be the answer to our problem of last season, of where we came up against teams who parked the bus, big problems, just didn't create enough chances, couldn't get through them. Wrong formation, we needed to be stretching teams. So this is one way you could possibly do it. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for now. Hope you enjoyed the vids, my rambling on about how we could play. And I'll speak to you again. Cheers.